Tuesday at 2 p.m. WNN.
From simple sprains to highly complex surgeries, the Orthopedic Center of Palm Beach County has been serving the South Florida community for over 65 years with the finest orthopedic and pediatric care. Our physicians are each experts in their field, providing a complete spectrum of musculoskeletal care from prevention and diagnosis to treatment and rehabilitation for every part of the body in both children and adults. Our doctors are able to perform the most advanced treatment options available, including PRP therapy, stem cell, arthroscopic surgery, and microsurgery. At the Orthopedic Center of Palm Beach County, we are dedicated to providing a comprehensive solution to get you back to your routine as quickly as possible, in the shortest period of time, with the least amount of inconvenience. The 3 beautiful new offices located in Lake Worth, Boynton Beach, and Wellington, we are able to provide much-needed care to families in the South Florida area. Give us a call at 561-967-6500. From our experienced physicians to the most advanced treatment options to our state-of-the-art facilities and excellent support staff, the Orthopedic Center of Palm Beach County is committed to providing you with the very best care. Call us at 561-967-6500 or find us at www.ocpbc.com.
Now you can get Talk 1470 WNN on 95.3 FM too. Loud and clear. Health and Wealth Radio, WNN.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of the station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Do you have a hot new business or an established business that offers great and unique services or products that you want to get the word out? Are you looking to grow your business and you want everyone to hear the buzz about it? Do you have an amazing project or an idea that impacts our community that you want to share or get others involved in? Then you've come to the right place. You're listening to Community Connections with Norma G. I'm your host, Norma Guerrero, and I want to share your passion while connecting with our community. So now, let's get ready to hear about what's hot, what's new, and what's happening on Community Connections with Norma G. Give us a call at 888-565-1470 and join our conversation. So we're good. Good evening. Welcome to Community Connections with Norma G. I'm your host, Norma Guerrero, and thank you so much for returning back. Hope you had a nice weekend. And I want to thank my guests from last week who were here with Purpose-Driven Parenting, Rob Cunningham and Jenny Otero, where they were here last week talking about developing support groups related to people with single parents after they've been through a divorce. And we're going to kind of carry along in that same little subject, that same theme tonight. We're going to be talking about divorce, but in a little bit different light. We always are looking for subject matters here of how we can help people that are going through whatever they're going through. So we hope that we can empower you this evening and teach you something and get you some resources that are out there in our community. We're going to be focusing a little bit on not so much people that are going through divorce, but the actual professionals that are handling the divorce process for people that are going through divorce. So if you're going through a divorce, all of a sudden your life goes through a turn, and now you're reaching out to all types of resources in the community. And I have a list here of all types of professionals that you may be coming in contact with. And so we're going to be speaking to those people tonight. If you're listening, we're going to be speaking to attorneys, mediators, guardian ad litem's, mental health professionals, real estate agents, professional organizers, parenting coordinators. So basically, if you're listening right now on 93 FM, or if you want to tune in and watch us live on Facebook stream at Community Connections at with Norma G, or at AM2 TV Productions, you can watch us live. And so if you're one of those professionals and you are experiencing watching your client go through a lot of different things, we are here today we have with us Liz Becker and Vicki Townsend, and they are the co-founders and CEO and president of National Association of Divorce Professionals. So we're going to learn all about what they this program that they've developed to help cross-educate all these different professionals that are having their hands in helping people through the divorce process. So I want to welcome Liz. I want to welcome Vicki to the show tonight. Thank you so much for coming.
Oh, thanks so much for having us. We're so grateful for the opportunity.
Well, I thank you. Well, did a little homework, and when I'm reading about the divorce statistics, every 13 seconds there's one divorce in America. That equates to 277 divorces per hour, 7,000 divorces per day, 46,000 per week, and what is this? 2 million a year. And so
it's overwhelming.
That's a tremendous number. And so when I was thinking about this, because my background is in medicine, I interrelate on a daily basis with doctors, nurses, physical therapists, occupational speech therapists, psychologists, social workers. And when we have a patient, we have interdisciplinary type meetings. So that way everyone's kind of on the same page, and because we all kind of know, and if we don't know, this is just by nature because we're all working in the same hospital or in the same rehabilitation, we learn a lot about each other. So when I started thinking about what you guys were doing, it reminded me of that model.
Right.
Of what you created here is that it's so. Why don't you tell me a little bit about this program? What's it called again?
It's the National Association of Divorce Professionals, and what we created, and the reason that we created it was to do exactly what you just talked about in the medical field. This is a great analogy.
Well, that's what I kind of saw when I got to read about your information.
It really is, because when a couple's going through the divorce process, actually there's very little cross communication between professionals. Occasionally there will be with a financial advisor, and perhaps with even maybe with a mental health counselor, maybe. But in my own case, and Liz's was much different, but in my own case, I was kind of, I actually had a great experience in terms of, my attorney did a good job. The difference was that I wasn't set up for success in all of these other areas about finding health insurance when you lose health insurance. What does that look like? And especially now with the Affordable Care Act, what does that look like for somebody? How does she negotiate that when suddenly a single stay-at-home mother finds herself without health insurance at the end of their divorce? It's actually quite scary.
Sure.
Depending upon how she's set up before this whole thing gets going, she could end up either with something from the Obamacare market, or she could end up on Medicaid, depending upon how she was set up. And if she had been worked with by all of those other people that you explained so well in the divorce industry, she could have been set up better had she been having a team approach to everything. And every divorce is different. But
so how are you manifesting this team approach?
Well, what we've done is we've created 4 different kind of areas that really touch on the divorce process. There are legal matters, and it's more than just your divorce. I mean, you've got to sell some real estate. You've got business perhaps together. There's a lot of different things. Immigration is a big issue. Adoption, will and estate planning, real estate. There's a lot of different areas of the law that are impacted by one simple divorce process. So we get them together. We bring in financial advisors. We bring in anybody that has anything to do with your money. So tax advisors and forensic accountants, CPAs, financial planners, because anybody that has to deal with money, which is a very sensitive topic, bankers even, 100% of bank accounts get changed during a divorce process, right?
So are you having meetings, or how are you doing this?
We bring them all together through their own community, and they invite each other, and we bring them in for strategic partnering so that they can build teams, because everybody's divorce is different. So we have all sorts of different professionals.
So you're kind of putting together maybe luncheons or dinners where you can invite the different professionals?
Right. We do 2 things. So we have a robust online platform and in-person platform to unite all of these professionals.
Okay.
And we started off with local chapters. Here in Boca, we have 2, in Fort Lauderdale and Aventura. Coral Gables is forming.
Okay.
And then what they do is they meet monthly. Now, what makes it so special is that in these chapters, we do 3 main things, right? So first of all, we give them this in-person platform where they can create these strategic alliances with other professionals that are targeting or serving the same clientele.
Sure.
Then what we do is we offer the divorce-centered education, which that is through our NADP Ed Talks every month. there is a member. We don't bring in people to come in and teach them. The actual members teach each other. Exactly. Because, it's not only a great way for them to learn, but it's a great way for them to build a relationship and understand the expertise of their fellow members of their chapters, because that's so important, right?
Well, I just find it to be really, because I am in the medical field, I know the importance of education, and because it's always ongoing for us, and it's just so important. And I know that there's so much that people are very, what I want to call single focused, like your own specialty.
Right.
And I can imagine a banker doesn't know what a psychologist does.
Exactly.
And a real estate person doesn't know what the mediator does. Exactly. I mean, we have a small understanding, but unless you've either personally experienced it, so in order to get a little bit more in-depth understanding of what the other person does, I think that's a kind of a beautiful thing, because it is a very traumatic process.
Exactly.
A divorce.
Right.
And so you are now, you become, I was kind of thinking in my head, like the venting station for this person that's going through this. It's only natural. How's your day? Well, actually terrible.
Right. Very true.
And so tell me a little bit about how did you guys develop this? Like, what's your background as far as, like, what made you pick the subject of divorce in order to create a project?
Well, we have two separate
curious.
stories,
We do
so I
have
guess
to.
we'll
You
take
go
turns.
ahead. You go ahead. And you can go
So,
ahead.
Well, in my
think it's interesting.
situation, in my situation, I'm a communication skills coach and trainer, and I specialize in divorce and parenting for almost a decade now.
Okay.
So for me, it was very directly related to seeing my clients and seeing that their professionals and all of those professionals that were helping them were not communicating with each other. And like you said, although they know their lane and they know it really well, there were certain decisions that were made that if they were just communicating, it would have saved my client a lot of emotional distress and also financial. So I realized that there was nothing out there that really focused on the B2B aspect of divorce. There's tons of information if you go online, if you're a consumer, if you're someone going through divorce.
Right.
There's a gazillion things. I used to speak at divorce expos. There's tons of outlets, but there really was no outlet for the professionals to learn more themselves with colleagues so that they can better serve their clients. Because at the end of the day, if you're able that, every month, all of the members walk out with one nugget of information that they did not know before. It doesn't matter if you're a family law attorney and you're an amazing one.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're an unbelievable forensic accountant. They all walk out with something that they're able to serve their client better, because even if it's not their expertise, just by transferring the information over to them is a wealth of knowledge.
And Vicki, how about your background?
Well, I've been through the divorce process now, sadly, more than once. And even having been through it once before, I ended up still making strategic errors, mistakes. I wasn't kind of prepping, because at the end of the day, when you're going through that, you're in the middle of a fog, and we ask people to make the most important decisions of their life that can impact them not only today, but for years, decades. You're asking that person to make those
Help
decisions,
you make it,
right?
because you're asking them, what would I do?
Right.
No, I mean,
what do you think I should
you're
do?
sitting there, here, you need to make some decisions about this. Well, guess what? It can impact you on such a crazy way that you're not even thinking about, because you're just not thinking right. So, and there was a lot of things that I still didn't know, despite the fact that I had been through it before. So, knowing that, and I'm a smart girl, that I still screwed up, that probably if I was screwing up, that some other people were doing the same thing.
Okay.
And that's when we started talking about, we both had I was trying to make lemonades out of lemons, right? I wanted to save the world in my own way by having a website. I developed a website that was a resource for all of those areas: legal matters, financial matters, mental health issues, and divesting yourself of your real estate. How do you sell your jewelry and things like that. So I realized that I was dealing with people that were at that fog when they probably couldn't even consume the information that was there available for them.
I see.
So dealing with the professionals became our outlet to try and impact this process and make it a kinder, gentler process.
So what we were talking about before, that you guys, both kind of are involved in counseling and coaching people but you're saying that when people are in the middle of the divorce, they're not necessarily the most receptive. Not that they're not receptive, they're emotionally not receptive because they're too plugged down with everything else that's going on. So you feel that connecting with the professionals that are interacting with them, increasing their sensitivities to divorce was kind of a way to go during the actual process. It's like, you could, okay, I'll take care of you later, but you're saying, let's take care of you while you're in the process if I just improve. Well, that's beautiful.
Definitely.
I mean, it really is beautiful. Well, I have a bunch of other questions that I want to keep asking you because I know that there's people out there that are listening thinking, well, I'm an attorney or I'm a banker, I'm a psychologist, and I interact with people like this all the time, and I'd like to connect with other professionals. And so we're going to come back and we're going to find out a little bit more about how you can get involved with this association. So we'll be right back. Thank you for tuning in.
Know your body, gain control of your health, transform your life. If your body could talk, what would it tell you? At DexaFit, we show you how to take control of your health and fitness to live a happier, more fulfilling life. Hormones, metabolic health, and cardio fitness all play a significant role in your energy levels, sleep quality, and overall well-being. With our proven methods of measure, track, and discover, we show you how your body composition, cardio fitness, and metabolic health compare to your optimal level. At DexaFit, our goal is to help you identify and understand the health and fitness of how to transform your body to meet your individual goals, break through your plateaus, and take the guesswork out. Improve your energy levels, sleep, and weight. Give us a call at 561-923-8833. We are conveniently located at 2499 Glades Road in Boca Raton. Schedule an appointment online at DexaFit.com. Give us a call, 561-923-8833, and mention this ad for special pricing.
Times are tough, and right now those in the commercial world know that being heard via advertisements is the name of the game. AmpSquare.tv understands how important advertisement is and is proud to express that it's truly the only plugged-in internet television production company on the market. Amp2.tv live streams all their shows across all the major selling markets in the U.S. and abroad. Call them at 866-224-5422. The AmpSquare.tv library allows productions to be seen over and over again, making commercial platforms more usable. Call 866-224-5422. Toll free 866-224-5422. Amp2.tv, the first and only internet television network that's truly plugged in. 866-224-5422. That's AMP2.TV.
Thank you for listening to Community Connections with Norma G. We're the place where we talk about your business, a product, an idea, or a project, and get the word out to our community. I'm your host, Norma Guerrero. Today we are sharing your passion while connecting with our community. Give us a call at 888-565-1470 and join our conversation. Don't forget to tune in every Monday night at 6:30 to join me, Norma G, and the guests to find out what's hot, what's new, and what's happening in our community. Now, let's rejoin Community Connections with Norma G. Welcome back to Community Connections with Norma G. I'm your host, Norma Guerrero, and today we are talking with Liz Becker and Vicki Townsend, and they are the co-founders of the National Association of Divorce Professionals. And we are, it is a group, a collection, a professional group meeting that is for attorneys, for real estate agents, for psychologists, mental health professionals, basically anybody that touches on assisting people during the divorce process. And so you may be asking yourself, how do I connect with these ladies? And so which professionals are qualified and what criteria do you have to meet in order to apply for the NADP membership?
Oh, you want to go? You want to answer that?
Well, we have 4 categories. So there's the legal, the financial, mental health, and real estate.
Okay.
So those are the 4 different categories. In each chapter, there's several professions that fall under those categories. Each chapter allows up to 3 professionals per profession. Not per industry, but per profession. And you must be qualified, licensed, or credentialed for at least 3 years in your profession or have at least 5 years experience in that specific profession.
Okay.
And we do vet. There's an application process. You must attend a local meeting first before you apply as a member, because this is really important to us to have a certain level of expert professionals, because there's a lot of referrals that are going around. There's a lot of, what we've experienced already in this first year of our chapters is that our chapters are building relationships. Our members are creating alliances, they're resources for each other. It's really an amazing
They're
experience.
making community connections.
Right, it's like community connections. It's like, exactly, it's
Yes.
like an NADP family, and we're very family oriented, and when we started this company, that's the sort of the grounding that we wanted for everything, is that people build relationships. We have multi-chapter socials that our members absolutely love. We create all these incredible events to educate them as well. So
it's not necessarily, it's not a social club.
No.
I mean, by nature, by default, if you're interacting with others, it's going to be social. Yeah. But it is something that you're regardless of where you're meeting or how you're meeting, you always want to have. And so you have speakers speak at these meetings?
Well, in the actual meetings, it's the members themselves that are giving the presentations monthly.
And how do you select who's going to speak that week?
They just apply to the assistant director of the chapter,
okay.
the director, and they present what they'd like to talk about it. And it has to be, of course, about divorce, and it has to be valuable information for the rest of the chapter.
And you had a chapter meeting today, correct?
We did. In
Where
Boca,
was it
we
today?
have on Mondays, we have Boca lunch chapter that meets at Capitol Grill the first Monday of every month. We also have a Boca breakfast meeting that meets on, it was last
the first Friday
of every month. At the Doubletree Hilton.
And are you solely here in Florida, or are you national?
Officially national, yay.
You're officially national?
We've got a number of chapters here in South Florida. So we've got 2 that are going to be in Miami-Dade. We've got 2 in Broward County. 3 in Broward County now. 3 in Broward County now. 2 in Boca, 1 that's starting in Delray, 1 in West Palm Beach. And we've got some other than, but the one that made us national was that we are now in
Connecticut,
Fairfield County, Connecticut.
Yeah,
which is where like Stamford and Westport. Yeah.
And how did you guys connect with them up there? So if you guys know someone up there, or
well, yeah, we definitely. There's actually been a request already for several states, and of course this is our first year, so we're growing much quicker than we anticipated, which is it's good news. So a few people have reached out to us to be involved. The person that we have in Connecticut is amazing, Nicole Fiore. She's fantastic. And, New York's next. Boston,
New York,
Chicago.
Next. Yeah. Well, good.
Toronto, Philadelphia, Chicago. So we really want to take this on a much bigger scale, and we really want to make it. We want to have it as a resource for the consumer, so that they know that they can reach out to a community of professionals that believe like we do. Because you see, what we believe is that divorce doesn't have to destroy a family. It just simply needs to change a family.
Sure.
And if our professionals vibe with that message, if that's the way they see their business going to, then they vibe with us, and we want to help them grow their business.
Right.
So this is really about helping them make those right connections with consistent referral sources that are everybody in the group is working on divorces. So they can bring them in at the right time in the right place with the right clientele.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad, in nature that that there is divorce, but it's nothing new. But the fact that the statistics are that high, it is like an epidemic, of it's a time of heartache, like an illness, it's a time, a season, and so you want the people caring for you to be the best they can be.
Right.
It is what it is.
Right. And exactly right.
It is what
and
it
what's
is.
Interesting is the more often you are married, the more times you're married, the more likely you are to be a divorce.
Yes, I found that interesting, that statistic.
It's very weird. But so long story short, what we really wanted to do is we wanted to create that village because we believe it takes a village to get a couple divorced.
Sure.
So we wanted to create that village kind of in a vacuum where they have each other right there. They know their areas of expertise. They know they've been learning about what's coming down the pike for their client around health insurance. We had an amazing ed talk around the narcissistic personality disorder. And, everybody learned how to talk to that clientele because that's 10% of the divorcing population has that as a part
Which
of that
disorder?
Narcissistic personality disorder.
Oh.
So they learned all of it was really interesting. You have no idea. Hit home with me.
Okay.
So what ended up happening is that they learned how to communicate with that kind of clientele that walked into their office. Everybody learned from that. So they're really becoming better at their craft because of it. Yeah. And they're going to better serve their clients.
So besides growing towards Connecticut, do you have any projected chapter openings for 2017?
We are going into New York. New York is next. We're actually going to open another chapter in Connecticut first, then New York City. We want to open a ton of chapters there. Chicago, Toronto, Philadelphia, Boston. We really want to make this a global impact, and we're going to start here in the United States and eventually just go outside of the United States. But our goal is to have just hundreds and hundreds of these chapters.
Well, I really do think it's great because it is, like we've mentioned, it is a kind of a sad time. It can be. Some people might find it liberating, but nonetheless, it's still, there's a lot involved with the children. We didn't even touch on that, too much, but we know how complicated it can be. So I think it's great that you guys are caring about that subject matter and wanting to better develop the quality of services that the professionals interacting with these folks, are dealing with. So I think that's awesome. How about you tell us how we can find you? If someone, if there's an attorney out there or someone that wants to say, how do we find?
Yes, thank you. We would love to talk to you, and you can go on our website at www.thenadp.com. And you can take a look, check us out. You can apply online if you'd like, and you can call us and ask us some questions.
Is there a phone number?
There is. It's
888-NADP-365.
888-NADP-365. And if they wanted to email you?
They can email us at info@thenadp.com. And we're happy to connect you in any way we can, and we look forward to meeting you.
Yeah.
That's wonderful, wonderful. Well, thank you again so much for coming in today.
Thank you. This is awesome.
we actually have a little bit more time. So, tell me, who was the speaker that you had today at the Capitol Grill?
Today was a mediator, actually.
A mediator?
Yes, and Lance Wogelter is his name.
Yeah, good for you.
I know.
That was awesome.
So it was a great presentation about, again, mediation and different, there's different processes to divorce. Consumers can choose all different kinds of ways of doing it, whether it's just mediation, whether it's collaborative law, whether it's litigation. I mean, it depends on what their need is. So again, this is important for other professionals to understand. A lot of them don't even know what collaborative law is and what the process is, and that's really important nowadays to know.
And you say you have a breakfast on Wednesday?
We have breakfast on Fridays, which is the first Friday of every month. At the Deerfield.
We do have a breakfast in Fort Lauderdale.
On
Wednesdays.
The best is to go on our website because all of the you have to register for our meetings. They're all on there. We are developing a chapter that should be launching in Coral Gables in January. So if anybody's listening and they're in the Coral Gables area, please give us a call. West Palm Beach and Delray. So those are the next. We have a West Broward also plantation chapter.
Well, it seems like there's just a bunch of chapters out there. Go to their website. I've looked at it. It's a really great website. It has a lot of information, a lot of resources, how to connect with them, and improve your knowledge and your sensitivities to the subject matter of divorce and help people during this time. Thank you so much for tuning in to Community Connections. We'll see you next week, and we'll see you then. Have a great evening, everyone. You've been listening to Community Connections with Norma G. We'll be back next Monday at 6:30 with a new guest to share about what's hot, what's new, and what's happening in our community. Did you hear something you liked today on our show? Please contact me, Norma G, at 954-802-2015. I look forward to helping you expand your business, project, or idea and connect with our community. That's 954-802-2015.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.